Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer, the training ground for all future T-Sports commentators. I'm joined today by Mr. Adam Mumford. Hey Adam, how are you?
I'm tired. I've basically just woken up. So I'm not particularly lively yet. But it's fine. I've got this.
Today's
I've got my
show...
Sneak energy drink. Ooh. If they would like to sponsor me, that would be great.
Yes, please do get in touch. If RVCA would like to sponsor me, please do get in touch.
Also, I don't imagine if want to give me free merch.
Yeah, that'd be good. We should get them to play at the venue one time. Ceremony for the Super Series. Beartooth. Let's do this.
That would be amazing.
I actually think I could probably make that happen.
Please do.
Right.
Please, pretty please. Although
hello
get
everyone.
rid of the alcohol.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. Today we're going to be looking at the top 8 lists that are going to be playing tomorrow when we're going to be doing live coverage all day on TTS of the Battle of the Digital Realms top 8. So, there was an event, which we meant to do coverage of, but we messed it up, but that's fine. Tomorrow we'll be taking you through the pairing process of the top 8, which is going to be very, very, very fun. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. I'm going to do a quick catch-up with Adam, though, before we do. Adam, how you been? What's been going on?
Yeah, I've been good. I played a game of Grandhammer the other day. So I played my mate's Flesh Eater Courts. He was running the feast day stuff, and I took the cockatrices.
Oh, really?
And I had a great time. And it went. I think we were playing Battle for the Pass, and I got it to. I lost, but that's fine. But I got the score to 27-29. So with cockatrices, I was like,
oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I've been building kangaroos. So
very nice.
We're going in for the wind charges. And I've just sprayed me my Severeth.
Severeth.
The
most overhyped character in all of Age of Sigmar. I don't know who...
Face. He's amazing. He's overpowered, and he's definitely not fine at 300 points. He is ridiculous. Okay.
I mean, at 300 points, I guess you could put him in your list, I guess.
He's
I don't know.
Overpowered.
Okay, I don't agree. I don't agree, but
when he destroys your terrain on a 2+.
Oh no, what will I ever do? What will I ever do?
The only thing that's actually in danger of it is the OBR Nexus, but that's not the point. Okay.
Hey, couple of quick thoughts actually before we get into anything else. A nice paint job that you've built it and based it, so you've got most of the way where everyone gets, and from now on,
it's finished.
It finished.
Yeah. See.
Okay, good.
Zenithal, and it's finished.
That's all you need to get done, I would say. Thanks to Relocation Rob for donating £2.31 to the show. It's very much appreciated. Yeah. I got a couple of thoughts actually before we get on with looking at the list that came up today, talking about tournaments that are coming up. One of the ones, Terrain. I know your good friend Matt Mallow, Sylvaneth player, that we talk about a lot. Got any quick thoughts about, this came up yesterday, what about all faction terrain just replacing a piece of terrain? So, like Age of Sigmar maps with predetermined terrain, and then faction terrain just replacing it. You got any kind of vibes on that? No, you're not feeling that?
No, because if I was doing one of my tournaments, and I chucked out, so like your event, for example, you've planned all the tables, right?
Yeah.
So, and you've got specific tables that have specific line of sight blocking terrain. Mm-hmm. If I was playing a shooting army, and I just went, I'm going to take this massive piece of line of sight blocking terrain and place it with my tiny little terrain piece down.
Okay, the table. But then I think one of the things that would be really good in the future, Shrine of Luminor. More specifically, I was thinking of a quick upgrade for Sylvaneth. So when they did a Wildwood, they just replaced a piece of terrain on the board. That's how they got their Wildwood.
I just think you upgrade Sylvaneth by just saying they can touch buildings, and then they got loads of room.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
They've got plenty of room there, don't they? Because if you've only got 8 or 9 pieces of terrain actually on the board, the bits of terrain can't go on the objectives within like X amount of inches anyway. And if you position them properly as a TO, then you can create spaces for the Sylvaneth.
Agreed.
So,
just a quick one. I thought I'd let everyone in on my inner thoughts as we're going. Follow up. This is 100% going into all of my event packs going forward. And Adam, I want to know what you're thinking. Based on my Twitter post yesterday and kind of my rant yesterday, and I think this is a forward, this is always, at a tournament, you've obviously got best sports. You've obviously got best painted. I want best medium painted.
So you want a prize for someone who's just average?
Yeah, average painted.
You want a participation award?
No, I don't want that at all. No, I don't want that at all, because best painted is very different to... So, like, back when... there was like a year of tournaments where I went to a lot of tournaments as a player, and I saw the same couple of people bring their same army to every single tournament. They were like, oh my god, another best painted award. Oh, thank you so much. Like, I'm so happy to be here. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I personally think that there should just be like a, well done, you medium painted your, like, probably like 43 people tied for it, but you just be like, well done, you medium painted your stuff. Yeah, because I'm never painting at the best painted level. I'm only painting at the I turned up level. So I want an award for that.
Or at least, award.
Yeah, the 3-color award. Yeah. The Participating Award. Thank you, Marty Hoy. You obviously... you've won now. Well done. The Participating Award. Please, someone write that down for me. I'm going to write it down for myself because that's 100% going in.
That's genius. I still think that would be cool. Who can use the most contrast paints?
Yeah.
Let's go.
And it's not meant to be like, did you do a ghost army? Because no one gives a fuck about ghost armies. But I think it's really, really important that someone just goes, like some random dude, he's like 3-colored his ogre, his more tribes guys, and he's like, oh, for me, an award.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, thank you.
I think like everyone's saying how difficult Lumineth are to paint, right? And I'm looking at it and going, I can just slap some colours on there, and I'm going to be done. So everyone else is going to be like, fucking gold trim, bloody shit, fucking and I'm just going to be like, woohoo! Just going for it. I'm going to have a great time. Because look at all of that contrast.
All of this.
See all of that.
Thanks to Werty for subscribing using Amazon Prime. Thanks to everyone who uses their Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe, or everyone who has. Henry Steele, fucking millennials. Henry, you can win all the painted awards. I just want to give an award out to someone who's like, do you know what? I'm never going to get any skills doing this. Like, when I plan an army, Adam, how long do you plan before... You've just bought the Lumineth stuff. How long before you plan on having it finished? Like,
before I have it finished, I need to buy it first. But I'm planning to do it in about a week, maybe 2, and just go smash it out.
There you go.
But it's
you're never gonna hold on. Let me put this in context. Cool. You're never gonna win a painting award, not one time. How do you feel?
It's literally ruined my life. It's a bit. It's because Henry's in the chat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was because I'm stealing that guy from Cult of Paint's color scheme, and I'm going to do it badly. So I was watching their tutorial on how to do it, and I was like, "How can I do this badly?" Was essentially like my thing, and it was like airbrush like that and airbrush like that, and I was like, "Fucking easy." And then I watched his next video and went, "Oh, maybe not." Yeah.
Maybe not. Oh wow! I don't know, to be honest. Painting is not a talent; it's work. You just work it; it gets you good at painting. I think there's a talent to it as well. I think there's loads of people who work at it, and then I think there's also like a spark of inspiration. But like, to be honest, Horido Martin. But like, that's kind of a feel. Anyway, I just wanted to point in. It's not an attack against people who are really good painters in any way, shape, or form.
It is.
It's more just
straight
kind
up
of
attacking you.
It's more emotionally bringing up the other group. Yeah, that's what it is. So, bring back dip. Agreed. Fucking agreed. Shake and bake it. Get it on the table. That's what I say. Yeah. Someone said yesterday, it was a great tweet. They were like, I'd rather have it on the table smashing faces than I would have it on the bench doing edge highlights. And I was like, yeah, also hedge highlights. Right, let's look at this pack, shall we? And let's look at this event. So here we go. So there was a Grandhammer, there was a Battle in the Digital Realms event. In the Digital Realms event, and then the top 8 competitors have gone through into a knockout tournament, which we'll be covering tomorrow, starting at 8 a.m. For Christ's sakes! Thank you to Best Painted Cock Award. 8 a.m.
Yeah, I'm out. We're not doing this survey. But if they push it forward an hour, I'm in. But can we just start the first game late?
Of course we can.
We're now in turn 1. Oh wait, it's been an hour, and we've not missed anything.
Well, if we got the right players, it wouldn't have even started by then. So That's not a criticism of any of the actual players playing. More kind of a general nod towards all of the community. Can I thank Best Painted Cock Award for donating £1.69 to the show. What about the Faye Bentos Award for knocking the most models off with your gut? I'd be up for that one. Nope. Right, okay. There's definitely convo about the same armies winning, says Henry Steele. Yeah, no, I think there definitely is. But I think
it should always be mine, and I don't know why. Contrast to the win.
But there is tracking for that anyway. Right, so we're gonna quickly look at the pairing system. So as you can see, 8 a.m. tomorrow. And you got Morton with his Khorne versus Forgive with his Deepkin, Wurzel with his Big War versus Iron Gutsman with his Ogres, Stephen Follows with his Zinch versus Owen Jackson's Osiarchs, and Alex Tubb with his Daughters of Cain versus Casper's Zinch. That's what we got matched up. So those are the games tomorrow, and they're playing Scorched Earth, my favourite battle plan, which is good. So that's going to be 8 objectives. Great mission. I'm sure they'll have the TOs will have. Yeah, okay. The TOs
they've changed it to the 2 points. And there was also a lot of discussion.
But there's no comp in Sigmar though, Adam. No comp in Sigmar.
That isn't comp. That's just how the mission should be written. So it's not comp. That's just us going GW get shit right. Okay.
So how do you feel about the battle plan? I know everyone at home knows how the battle plan works, or should do. There are 8 battle plans. There are 8 objectives. 1 battle plan, 8 objectives. They're spread across the board. From the beginning of Battle Round 2, you can burn your opponent's objectives, and they score you flat 2 victory points. You can't burn them if there's a hero within 6. So this is really important. And if you burn them with one of your heroes within 6, you gain an additional victory point. So there's a lot. So some of the things that work really well into this, when we do talk about it in a minute, will obviously be the Archeon-style lists, because obviously they can defend objectives well, but they can also smash objectives well. But it's generally my favourite battle plan because almost every army list works until you put it into Scorched Earth. And then you're like, uh-oh. How do I control them? What do you think of the battle plan, Adam?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite battle plans. It's kind of like, because you're burning your opponent's stuff, you can go for that early, I'm just going to alpha you and try and burn everything turn 1, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win it. So even if you go straight all in, burn everything, you're still 4 objectives because you can't do anything about yours. So then your opponent's still got chance to get back. And it's always a game that will generally go to turn 5 because of that back and forth of, do I burn this? When do I burn this? And there's so much going on. And as a Deepkin player, I really appreciate it.
Same. I think it's
Deepkin love this mission. This is probably their favourite mission. So
but we all hate Deepkin. Talking of Deepkin, that's a nice segue into the lists. So the first matchup is we've got Forgive with his Idneth Deepkin versus Morton Winkle, the man with the sword inside the sword. Owen's favourite player ever. Up against each other. So that's kind of you guys can see the lists now. So you got Futh 1. Rerolling 1s to hit in combat, rerolling 1s to wound in combat, rerolling 1s to hit. That's what we're looking here. Volturnus, High King of the Deep, and the Eidolon of Mathalan, the aspect of the storm in there as well with the Cloud of Midnight. So for one phase, going to turn off his opponents, either shooting or fighting or whatever it might be. 2 units of 3 defensive guard and 10 Namarti thralls. Then he's got 6 Alapexes, all with the harpoons. And then a Leviathan with that reverberating carapace. So that's that +1 save extended from 12 inches to 15 inches, pushed out as a piece. So that's kind of the list. And then we'll talk about Morton's list, and then we'll kind of have a conversation about both of them. So he's got a Slaughterhost, he's got Reapers of Vengeance, obviously, with Archeon, the Bloodthirster of Infected Fury, the Bloodstoker, and the Slaughter Priest. And he's got those minimum units of Blood Reavers, the 2 Chaos War Shrines, and Dart Feast. He's also got the Hexgorger Skulls and the Bleeding Icon. So that extra pile in 6 inches, also the Fight Twice, going on to Archeon, just making him smash through the enemies, but not many bodies on the board. How do you feel about the mix-up between these two armies?
It's quite an interesting one because it's Scorched Earth. Neither of these guys have particularly they don't have very many models on each side. So they're almost against any other army, they'd almost struggle. If they were playing any other thing in this tournament, they'd probably struggle because they're going into each other. It's almost like because they both don't have very many bodies, it's going to be quite an even match. But I know, obviously, we know that in turn 3, Deepkin have the capabilities to destroy the world. So Archeon is going to be in real trouble if he doesn't do a lot of damage in those first 2 turns.
Well, I think one of the things about Archeon, which is really important, and some of this, we've seen some more situations, like we've seen Goading Arrogance out of Lumineth Realm Lords as well. I think that Cloud of Midnight could become very key in order to shut down Archeon. But then, so that means that like they can't target someone in that phase. But it really does depend whether or not Archeon goes for that, because he's got the movement thanks to Blood Tithe and being whipped and everything else. So he's got that movement. Well, actually, no, I don't know if he's got the Whipper. Has he got the Whipper?
We can also with the Blood Type, you can also fight. Can you fight in the hero phase with that as well? If you
yes.
So if, for example, Archeon charges into the Eidolon, and he does use the thing, the Cloud of Midnight, if he gets a turn or something, he can then use his Blood Type in the hero phase to fight him, and then the Cloud of Midnight's gone anyway. So there's sort of like the Cloud of Midnight's going to be potentially less effective just because of the Blood Type. So if he uses the Blood Type effectively, it could like be really tricky. But I'm not sure about like the Leviathan pick's a bit of a weird one for this list. Like you lose quite a lot for what it's giving you.
Well, so I think one of the things here that's quite key is that all those Alapexes go to a 3-up save. It's a good start. Yeah, 16 wounds because they're in blocks of 2. They're 8 wounds each, straight to a 3-up save. That's pretty good straight off the bat for 220 points. And then also it works so well on the Ishling Guard. And I think someone in the chat was just saying a moment ago that the Ishling Guard tubs such a hard counter to Archeon. So they obviously can be on a 2-up armor save turn 1. Wait, they start on a 3-up? No, they
start on a 4-up. And then they get +1 from cover turn 1, and they get +1 from Leviathan, so they're on a 2-up turn 1.
And they also get +1 if they charge.
If they charge, yeah.
If they charge. So being able to lock down Archeon and put themselves on a 2-up unrendable armor save is pretty key, because Archeon doesn't really pump out mortal wounds. That's not what he is. He's just got great rend, and he's going to punch through stuff. So that's going to be another great way to hold up Archeon. And then the Alapexes can like either, I mean, they've got the Razor Shell Harpoon, so they could shoot out all the Blood Reavers, which I think is like really lowers that down. But then you're generating Blood Tithe, giving that to Archeon and the Bloodthirster to use. And ultimately, he doesn't like Morton, who's obviously brilliant. He's got the War Shrines at the back of the board as well. So he's got summoning, but he's light on bodies, like to control the board, which I think is kind of key. But then also, so is our man.
Yeah, because Forgive with his list, he's light on bodies and he's a castle. So because of the Leviathan, he's gonna have to be moving in a castle, but there's 8 objectives. Yeah. So essentially, he's got to try and stay in his castle whilst trying to spread his army around. So it's a tricky one for him, I think.
I think.
But obviously,
I agree.
Archeon's going to be a bit of a. He's going to be shut down. I think Archeon's not going to be as effective. I think he's going to like to be. But if Archeon can get into Volturnus and just nuke him with his Slayer Kings, then turn 3 isn't going to be very good. So
no, it's not. It's not. But I think putting the range threat, I think that Alapex's inclusion into the Idoneth Deepkin just makes it a better army all over. So we got to go for a prediction. This is what I'm kind of going for here. Go for a prediction on this matchup. Twitch chat. Adam, what we thinking? So these guys are playing each other. They're playing Scorched Earth round 1. Who are you rooting for? Deepkin versus Khorne. Who you going for?
I want Morton to win. I want Archeon because I just like Khorne Archeon. But I think the Deepkin's going to win it. Yeah, I think the Deepkin's going to take it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the Deepkin are going to take it. I think heart and love, but I think we're going for IDK. In the chat, it looks like there's some love for Khorne. K-Dread, O-Reaper, Jog PLC. But Agile wants IDK. And Groty Woty put the Fishman in the sword. All right.
That's all we want. Fishman in the sword. Let's go.
Yeah. So next up, we got our man Stuart Iron Gutsman McGowan.
Yeah, hero.
What a hero. Yeeting his way into 2021 with 21 Yetis. So he's got the Ogre Moor Tribes Winterbite. He's got a Fire Belly. So Winterbite -1 to hit in your deployment against shooting. He's got the Fire Belly with the Billowing Ash, which is another -1 to hit aura, which is a spell if you can cast it. The Frostlord on Stonehorn with the Frostfang and the Black Clatterhorn. 400 points of rage is what he is. 400 points of rage. He'll do so much damage. Then the Huskard on Thunder Tusk as well. So he's a priest. And then he's got Blood Vulture. He's got Command Trait Winter Touch. He's got the Skull Shards of Dragar. And then he's got the Call of the Blizzard and the Rimfrost Hide. And he's got an Icebrow Hunter. And then he's got the 7 units of Icefall Yetis. 7 times 3. Don't forget, Stuart went 3-0. So he won 3 games at the event to qualify into the top 8.
I don't even know how.
We don't know either, but this is what the match we're gonna watch more than likely. Now he's got the 2 units of Frost Sabers. He's got Unit 4 and he's got Unit 2 in the Skull. So we'll go back. We'll talk about this in a moment. And then he's up against Wurzel or John Holocomb with his big war. Now he's got his Wurgog Prophet, his 3 War Docs and a War Chanter, and then he's got 2 units of 30 Savage Uruks, and then he has got 2 units of 5 Savage Boar Boys, and then he's got a unit of 10 Savage Uruk Maw Boys, and he's got the Rogue Idol, and he spent an extra CP. He spent 50 points to get an extra CP. Now I really, really, really rate Stuart's list, because he's got the Always Strikes First ability, command ability, on the Icefall Yetis if they're wholly within 12 inches. So you smash in with your Frostlord on Stonehorn. You give all the Icefall Yetis strike first, and you just blitz through stuff. My real problem is I'm not certain there's the output in that list to take out the 120 wounds of Savage Uruks and also the Rogue Idol at the same time.
But he did manage to hit one of his games. So Stuart, one of his games leading up to this, he had to play Seraphon in Coalesced, and he had the output to deal with that.
Wow. Okay.
So, and that was like a Saurus heavy, so it wasn't even just skinks. So obviously they're minusing all his damage by 1, and he still had the damage output to deal with that.
Okay.
So I think the damage from the Yetis and the Stonehorns and stuff is quite it doesn't look like a lot, but when it's actually all put into practice, it is there's a lot of power there. But how did these 2 get here? I don't mean to be rude, but geez,
well, like you said, we saw Coalesce with Seraphon beaten by this list. Well, at least by Stuart's list, right? John's list is also solid as well. We just need to talk about it. There's a lot of output, but most importantly, a lot of board control from this army. It's fast. It can have all of its overlapping buffs as long as it gets its prayers and dances off. Yeah. The War Chanter is going to do a great solid job in this list. It's scary. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's amazing. Really, really good. And it's all in the big
war. Savage Uruks are no joke, are they?
No, they're not. Especially. Oh yeah, we also need to talk about the Triumph bid that's in here, because as you can see, 1930 points.
Stuart straight up just got it out. Just like, boom! Let's go, lads.
I'm getting a Triumph, boys.
Slapped it on the table. This is my Triumph now, bitch.
So only taking 1930 points. And 50 points spent on a command point. So he's 70 points down, and he spent a command point. So really it's 120 points down.
No, he's because the extra command point's just from the Skull. So
yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't actually bought another one.
Oh,
so
okay. Never mind then.
It's fine. It's fine.
So I'm a big fan of both of these lists, and this is probably the match we're going to watch. The destruction.
This is not the only match I want to watch. I don't care about anything else in this one.
So this will be the match we watch. What does everyone in the chat think of? Oh yeah. Also, we need to point out the fact that the Uruk. Thank you very much, Arepa. It's a big war list. This is really key. Yeah. So we can get +1 to hit, +1 to wound. Potentially on lots of these. And we've also seen this big war list, or specifically this Rogue Idol used at a load. All the buffs stacked on the Rogue Idol. It's run up the board to pin an army in. Yeah? And can you punch through it? I would say, though, the Ogre's list has got the output to punch through it. Yeah? The Frostlord and Stonehorn is an absolute, smasher. And he's going to punch through huge portions of this. Which there are very few things that really compare to him. Probably Gawking on Terrorgeist is the other version. Of something that's truly, truly terrifying in this way. not you keep your secrets. So yeah, I think this is. I'll fight twice. No one cares.
It's fine. You fight 3 times, mate, and we'll all be good. It's okay.
Yeah,
you tried.
Yeah, go on. But yeah, so I think this is going to be a really fascinating matchup, especially knocking around the priority roll turn 2-3, because a lot of the output is really, really keyed in to making sure those charges go off for Stuart. And then I think a lot of the buffs that we need playing into this work for John. So actually they play very similarly, where they've got this like big turn where they're going to do a lot of pushing, and so it's whether or not they can set those plays up for themselves. Lol, 2K of Slash versus a single Frostlock with buffs. Big shout, Smorgan. Also, Smorgan's latest video is up if you guys want to watch it, and you should put a link in the chat because it's good.
I like his videos.
I was listening to it this morning. Yeah, it was really good.
They're my favourites. I love your voice.
Gutchman in the chat says, I go first and try to flip for the turn. GG. There we go. So now we know the plan.
Easy.
Right. Twitch chat and Adam, who do you think's going to win? Not who you rooting for. Who do you think's going to take it?
I think Stuart's going to win.
Okay, fascinating.
Because of the mission.
Okay, talk to me why. Why?
So Stuart has got a lot of like units that you can fly around everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas John has basically got 2 things. So he's only really got like two big units and a rogue idol. So he's only really got like 3 threats. Whereas Stuart can throw like threats all around the board.
Yeah.
So I think Stuart's gonna win just because of Scorched Earth. And I think he's got the damage to take out 60 orcs. And yeah, I think it depends like how fast these orcs actually end up going. Because if they sort of get into Stuart quite quickly, then it could be tricky because Stuart's got no fly. So if you like just block the board up, but yeah, I think Stuart's gonna win it just because he's got more units to be able to threaten 8 objectives.
Well, so Arepa says Urux will pin it and win it. Smorgan's all about Stuart for days. Model citizens represent. So then, and then Agile thinks ogres. So fascinating kind of take there.
It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a good match. I can't call it because John's got a load of units. He's got these Savage Boar Boys, these 2 units of 5, and also the 10 Savage Moor Boys. They can just go hold objectives and just like do nothing, which really does mean that like the 2 lots of 30 Uruks and the Rogue Idol can just run off and start smashing face. He's also got a load of characters to make it so you can't burn objectives at the back. So there's a lot to take out there, basically. So I think that's going to be a great match. That will be the match that we're covering tomorrow. Not that the other matches won't be great as well, but I think that's one of those special.
The others won't be. We can be honest here. You know, like the other matches suck, and this one's going to be great. There we go.
Right, next up, we win Twitch chat. We win. There we go. The Yetis do have a 6-inch pylon as well. It's a good point to note. Right, next up, so Stephen Follows is playing up against our man, Owen Jackson. Owen Jackson, emotes in the chat, please. So Stephen Follows is running a Host Arcanum Zinch list, and very much like the deep dive I did on the Monday show, where we've talked about this before. Archeon the Everchosen, Chaos Sorcerer Lord, Blue Scribes, Kairos Fleet Weaver. Blue Scribes kind of an interesting pick. You don't see that as much thrown into these lists. You pretty much will see Kairos, Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and Archeon all in Host Arcanum. They all fly, all got the Zinch keyword. They could all pre-game move. That's really, really important. Chaos Sorcerer Lord doesn't fly, obviously. Sorry. And then Battle Line, 10 Carrick Acolytes, another 10 Carrick Acolytes. So super cheap Battle Line, just there. And then 2 times 3 units, 2 times 3 Screamers of Zinch. Screamers of Zinch are Battle Line in Host Arcanum, so that makes up your 3 Battle Line plus an additional. Not forgetting he's going to summon a free 6 at some point. He can dispel spells 1, 3, and 5, and automatic dispel, not including what he's able to do with Kairos' dice roll, and also Destiny dice, loads of things in there. And he's got Darkfire Demon Rift, Geminids, and also the Umbral Spell Portal.
Oof.
What do you think? Oofed. Oof.
Yeah, so this is very similar to what Steven's been playing, isn't it? So Steven's been playing this list for the last couple of tournaments, and we've seen him play twice now with at least something similar, and he does well with it every time we watch him. I think the only real change is the 2 units of 10 Kairak Acolytes. He normally has 10 Pink Horrors, which is an interesting pick. I don't know which one's better, but I assume it's to get the it means you've got 2 spells rather than 1 spell to get the summoning going, maybe.
I think it's just to get I think it's saving points. Like he's saving 120 per unit there. So he's got.
Yeah, I mean, he normally, instead of having 2 units of acolytes, he normally has 1 pink horrors, right?
Yeah,
so he's only saving 20 points. But
he's saving 120 points, isn't he? I think. But I think that's where the blue scribes comes from. I think that's what we're seeing put in there. Like we've seen in the chat, 2+ to autocast Geminids is really
that's
rough.
just gonna be naughty. But he doesn't have the Goat Watch, so he's got rid of the Great Bray Shaman. We know no Shaman. So yeah, but the blue scribe's a really good pick because 2+ to cast any of those spells. To be honest,
really surprised actually that anyone I feel like the Shaman trick is something that's like people should be used to the Shaman trick. They should understand. Once it happened one time. So I feel like it going out the way is because really everyone just I know what you're going to do. Everyone knows
it now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's your fault. I feel like you've ruined it for him. You've explained it now to everyone, and everyone's like, "Oh, watch out for the goat." And Steve's like, "Oh, damn it! Come on, man."
It doesn't mean we don't get to do Goat Watch, but that's really good.
We'll just import a goat.
What's the Shaman trick? So you can take a Great Bray Shaman in your army, and it Kairos knows the spell of the Great Bray Shaman, which is really important. And then what you can do, because Host Arcanum allow you to make a 6-inch move with a Flying Zeech unit with up to D3. So then you can move a unit forward. Normally it's going to be Archeon anyway, but you could also, if you wanted to, make that Kairos. Then you could do the Umbral Spell Portal, which is going to give you an 18-inch additional range, plus obviously set it up with an inch, so there's a little bit more than 18 as well, so that you can do some shenanigans. Then you can cast the War Scroll spell on the Great Bray Shaman, which is Devolve, and then you can drag a unit. And that's within 18 inches as well. You can drag a unit basically towards you, so you can pull units out of buff range. You can pull units that you're going to charge and fight. Specifically, what you really want to do is pull units so Archeon can then make his charge. Yeah, and then he has his agenda up, so that he gets extra attacks on all his profiles. He's got rerolls to save. He's got Shield of Fate on him potentially as well. Rerolls to hit, rerolls to wound, all of that coming out of the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. So he just gets buffed up to high heaven. And he just goes in and smashes.
Launches in. And that's all she wrote. That's literally it. We think there's more tactics in that. There's not.
No.
Buff up Archeon, throw him in. Hopefully you win.
That's it.
That is all.
Yeah. The big problem that really occurs then is once Archeon goes down, as we've seen Stephen play actually on the stream a couple of times, once Archeon goes down, it's all over, and you're able to. Antu was able to take out one of the events where we saw him play against Stephen, because really he just castled up, took the hit, and then just over a couple of turns just burnt Archeon to death. And then once that's gone, there really is nothing else left in the lift that can do any work. Not forgetting there's a free pocket 6 Screamers. So on Scorched Earth, it's quite nice because it puts so much pressure and threat into your opponent's army. But he's up against the Owen Jackson running his Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
The Owen Jackson.
You running Petrifex Elite post-nerf. Who would have thunked it? Yeah. So he's got his
Owen Jackson.
Hipster, exactly. So he's got his Liege Cavalos, his Mortars and Bone Shaper with a Godbone armor, and then another Mortars and Soul Reaper. And then he's got his battle line of 40 Mortek Guard, 20 Mortek Guard, and 10 Mortek Guard. So 70 Mortek. 2 Gothazar Harvesters, the Mortek Crawler, and then the Mortek Shield Corpse. So there's actually loads of over. Say this again.
It is a rough list.
It's rough. Yeah. I think one of the important things actually to put a feather in Owen's cap is Owen's been playing a lot of Khorne over the past year, a lot of Khorne, and everything works wholly within. This is pretty much how this Ossiarch's army works as well. So many overlapping buffs. +1 rend, +1 attack. Yeah, exploding 6s to hit, coming out. Reroll 1s coming out the Soul Reaper as well. So is it the Soul Reaper? Yeah,
no idea.
So you're getting a load of buffs that you can stack onto that block of 40, for example. You can also so you're doing that, but you also need those characters, the Liege Cavalos, to be moving up. But it's also able to take a hit really well, because not forgetting with your RDP, you're also re-rolling saves. Yeah, that's really important as well. Yeah. You're also bringing those units back with the Gothazar Harvester as well.
He's got 2.
Yeah. No, he's got one. He's got one Mortek Crawler. Sorry, he's got 2. He's got 2 Harvesters.
Yeah,
You're right.
Harvesters,
Sorry.
1 Crawler.
Yeah, 2 Harvesters, 1 Crawler. Yeah, and it's just horrific to play.
It's real good.
Really good
list.
Really good.
Like, so you essentially like, but the thing with like OC you essentially like you either go Mortifitorians normally with Catacross, and you go for that tanking build, whereas Owen's basically gone the other way and gone, hang on, these units tank anyway, like they're good for doing it anyway. So let's see how much damage we can throw them in. And with Petrifex, you get that extra rend, so your Mortek Guard are going to be running in. So 40 of them. They're only on 25 mil bases as well. So they're going to be getting 2 ranks of attacks. So you're essentially getting, what, let's say 40, 50 attacks, exploding 6s, and
you can have it exploding on 5s.
Oh, yeah, exploding 5s with empowered Nadorite weapons, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And then also Rend 2. That's right, Rend 2. Because Petrifex command ability is still, you've got reroll 1s to hit across the board all the time anyway. That's your battle trait, but also that command ability is the additional Rend. So battle line a Rend 2 with a 4-up rerollable save is...
Rend 2 is real good.
Really good.
Like,
really, really good. Yeah.
Anytime you see Rend 2, it's like, oh, my guy's on a normally 4-up save, really tanky. Rend 2, shit. Like, it's,
so
Archeon is not going to like it. Archeon is going to be in trouble.
He is. But you do have to play this army super. You have to play this army super tight. You have to play it really, really close to the chest, which means the Harvesters and the Mortek are playing against each other or with each other. I'm sure that Devolve would have been really handy in this situation. So picking that army apart is going to be quite hard to do. But also playing into the battle plan, bit of a problem, because the battle plan itself, he's really going to have to try and roll a flank in order to play against it, which is interesting because Archeon is also want to go at these guys like a missile. So it's really 2 huge forces just immediately crashing into each other. And what's the play?
I think as soon as if Owen Jackson, if Owen can take the Archeon hit, so he takes that first hit, and then he can just kill Archeon quite quickly. I think with this, if he can take the hit, kill Archeon, he's then just got the rest of the game to be like, yeah, you can't touch me now. Because
however, Stephen, not forgetting, is rocking Tzeentch Demons, so Archeon's going to be -1 to hit, just flat. He's a Tzeentch Demon. That Geminid's going to be key as well. Yeah, -2 to hit. The output on the Mortek significantly reduced. Yeah. However, Owen then has got a nice counter in that list as well. We've got the Mortek Crawler. So he can start targeting the units of Carrick Acolytes, so make it so that he can't hold objectives. Potentially try and take out the Sorcerer Lord. Don't think he's going to go for Kairos, but could go for Kairos. Probably won't, but force a dice change on Kairos, maybe a save. I think one of the key bits playing with Tzeentch versus the Harvester, those 4s in your Destiny dice become really key. You're like, hey, you're going to launch a rock at me, but you have no rend. These 4s are kind of not that big a deal to me. Really, maybe I'm using them for casting spells, but actually, you don't have any rend. I'll just grab a couple of those, and I just negate 5 damage. Massive. Really good. You can, like, because he could one-shot the Chaos Sorcerer Lord, if he wanted to, with one of the rocks. Or, you could just Destiny Dice a 5 and be like, cool, I'm just going to deal with that. So, really interesting. That's going to be a super interesting matchup. It's a shame we're like not watching that one as well, I would say.
Yeah. That's going to be a super cool one. And we're all rooting for Owen, right? Like, secretly. Really.
I mean, Steven's a really nice bloke.
I mean, but like, in the nicest way possible, he's no Owen Jackson, right? So, you know.
I mean, he's probably not. I mean, he's still a great bloke. Let's say that they're both great blokes at the same level.
Great guy, great list.
Great guy, great list. There is an emote for that. Right, okay. I can't wait to do coverage tomorrow with all of our emotes. It's going to be super fun. Finally, the last matchup is Casper versus Alex Tubb. Alex Tubb's running a DOK list with Calibron. He's got Bloodwrack Shrine, Hag Queen, Marathi Kane, and the Shadow Queen. He's got 2 units of 10 Witch Elves. He's got the 15 Bloodstalkers. And then he's got the 2 units of Life Takers and the 2 units of 9 Shadow Stonkers. And then he's got the Cauldron Guard. And he's also got the Bloodwrack Viper. New DOK playing on the tabletop.
Great spell.
Yeah, great spell. And then just to finish off what he's up against. So he's up against another Tzeentch list, Hosar Khan, with Be'lakor in at this situation. Which I know. Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Manticore, Kairos Fate Weaver, the Blue Scribes, and the Changeling. And then he's got 2 units of 10 Pink Horrors, 6 Screamers. He's got Darkfire Rift, Geminids, and also the Umbral Spell Portal. So we've seen a bit of a change there. Obviously, no Archeon in this list. and instead we've got like big, beefy pink horrors of Tzeentch, another 6 Screamers, and another 6 Screamers to be summoned. That's going to be nice for holding the board. A bunch of Mortal Wounds that can potentially come out of all of the characters, and some really strong spells up against Morathi, Kane, and all the Shadow Stonkers. Adam, what are you thinking about these lists? How are you vibing?
Yeah, I was just looking at the Tzeentch list, because that Chaos Lord on Manticore is going to be a bitch to take off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to be a tanky, like, he's going to tank a lot. And then obviously you got Be'lakor. So Be'lakor's ability, pick a unit, and then once a game, or once at the start of your opponent's hero phase, you activate the ability, and then basically if they want to do anything, they've got to roll a 5+ to do it, which goes quite nicely with Kairos. Because if, for example, they do roll that 5 up, you just go, nah, mate, change that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's going to be tasty, especially when you're playing against Morathi. So or even the Bloodstalkers. The Bloodstalkers might be a better pick for that.
I think the Bloodstalkers are a better pick.
So you put it on Morathi or Bloodstalkers, whichever one you feel is more of a threat, and then you can essentially just shut them down for an entire turn. And if you do it into when your opponent's potentially going for a double, and if they then take that double, they're being Be'lakored for 2 turns. So Be'lakor is going to be a massive deal, especially when you've got 2 big units like that. So when you've got the 15 Bloodstalkers or Morathi, Be'lakor is really, really efficient. He's a really good piece.
You can't use Kairos' dice roll for it. That's one of the key points. I'd like, not anymore. Like, you used to be able to, but it's not, and not now. But you can. You still that 5 up. I know that 5 up still going to be really important in loads of different ways, and also Kairos' ability is still going to be, I think, an issue into this army. I would say
you can use it on like so you could use it on something like when Morathi tries to charge in, you just go nah, or something like that. You know, there's going to be loads of uses for it, isn't there?
I think that's more important, in the right situation and being able to control where she is on the board. I think also just putting it, like, shutting down some of those units. I think one of the strengths of the Daughters of Cain list, though, is those 4 units of off-the-board or teleporting units in the 2 units of Life Takers, the 2 units of Shadow Stalkers, in a battle plan that's very, very important to them. Because ultimately, Casper doesn't have a lot to hold the board with. What he does, he's got 2 units of Pink Horrors. There's 2 objectives that are going nowhere fast. That's 100%, right? Morathi might pile into them, but whatever. There's only 6 Screamers that can hold an objective, and another unit of 6 Screamers that can hold an objective. But what you don't really have in the Tzeentch list is a way to go and push. There's no aggro. There's no go grab the objective. Defend, 100%. I've said this before, Tzeentch is a midfield army. It plays on the 18-inch line. As soon as you're beyond that, they're like, I'll leave you over there.
Yeah,
you stay over there. I'll stay here. Yes. Walk into no man's land or I'm not playing with you. And I think that's really, really important. I think some of the things that you can see here, again, very much like the strength of the Tzeentch list we talked about before, Geminids doubling down, obviously, on top of Tzeentch Demons, making them -2 to hit, so key. That'll really neuter significant parts of the Daughters of Cain army. I think that's going to be really important. And then the Daughters of Cain army for holding objectives, grabbing objectives, yes, but I don't think those teleporting units potentially can push. They might be able to push 6 Screamers off, pretty crap in the fight, but they're not going to push off 10 Pink Horrors.
But like, potentially they don't need to, because like, so obviously with this list it's Calibron as well. So you've got in this list you've got 2 units of Shadow Stalkers that can teleport every turn, and then another unit that can teleport. So he's got 3 teleports available every turn, and then he's got 2 Life Takers that are off the board. But if you've got 10 Pink Horrors on an objective, you can potentially just put the 18 Shadow Stalkers on and just go, all right, no, I'm not touching you, and I'm just going to take it.
Yeah,
like, this
that's
is mine.
Super true.
I'm 18, you're still only 10. So there's still a bit of that. Like, the Shadow Stalkers can do things like, I'm not going to touch you, I'm just going to have it. This is mine. And now I'm going to burn it and walk on to the next one.
Yeah.
So there's stuff like that. And those Bloodstalkers, they do a lot of damage. So you teleport them, obviously, and then you just go, lol, let's go. So, like, they can take out Kairos. They can take out Kairos in a turn. You teleport them up, and you just unload into Kairos.
Well, so do we not think the Changeling is going to have some impact there? Potentially drop in I don't know. Yeah, like the teleport and also the shoots is going to be really rough on the blue scribes. Also on the Chaos Sorcerer Lord. I think that's going to. I think you're right. I think that's going to be strong, and it's going to be a tactic you're going to see a lot in the future. Morathi, run up the board, Calibron, and then and you just
those life takers on the charge, they do a lot of damage as well. Especially with Morathi giving them +1 attack just for being there. So they're going to be on like 3 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 2 damage when they charge. Like that is a lot. That's eels. Like and we know how bad eels are. So
they're only 80 points though, so it's super fine.
So they're basically they're budget eels is essentially what you're looking at there.
So final list, or the final pairing. Twitch chat. What do we feel? I'm going to call this one. I feel like DOK have got this one. I feel like this is a DOK
I think this is a Daughters of Cain win. I think it's going to be like, I think if Casper plays it well, but it's just going to be so hard for him to get up that board and take those, because the 8 objectives is going to be tricky for him. But if he gets his spells off, uses his summoning right, he can potentially do it. But I just don't think he's got the output to actually deal with, even though there's like, I don't think he's got the output to deal with 15 Bloodstalkers, is my main thing.
Yeah, where does the output come from? I ask this a load about the Tzeentch army almost all the time, which is why I think you see Archaon put in there. It's either kind of like a control army with some very elite mortal wounds, again, into that midfield, it's not dropping them big long range, or it's it's an Archaon like smash build, and it's kind of the two ways to play. I mean, the Chain Chose teleport Flamer build, I would still consider to be a control army, because really they're aggressively controlling the board space, they're aggressively blocking. Whereas like I think some of these other lists are defensively blocking, but there's some really nice tech inside Gasper's list, like some really nice tech. Also shutting down some of those spells is going to be
Be'lakor as well is just going to be massive. Like if Be'lakor goes off, especially into a double, for example, like that's going to be really good. So I think it depends. I think it's going to be really key when he uses Be'lakor's ability. I think that's going to be almost the thing that's going to potentially win him the game.
Mm-hmm.
So
agreed.
Yeah.
Also some clutch like mortal wounds potentially even coming out of the screamers when they fly over Morathi for some mortal wounds, like just to ping them off.
Just get those 3.
Just get those 3. Just get them. All right, lovely. So that's going to be tomorrow from 8 a.m. Unfortunately. Oh my god, we'll see you all about 10:30 with a butty or something. So 8 a.m. tomorrow for some ungodly reason. Thinking of just starting all events here at 10 a.m. Adam, in the future.
All my events are 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Why would you need it any earlier?
Yeah, it's not like
even 10 a.m.'s too early. But we've got to start
midday, 2 games. I'm out. Let's go. All right, so I mean, all great players, by the way, all 8 of them, people who play a lot on TTS. I've had the opportunity to see them in the chat, or also generally they've been wonderful people. So very much I don't want to call a winner, but that'll be tomorrow. The event organisers have been amazing. They've sent me loads of messages. So me and Adam will be doing the coverage all tomorrow. Intern Matt's our table boss. You guys can join us. We'll get some updates from other games as we cover one game. If this was happening in real life, we could cover all 4 games at once, Adam. If it were happening in the arena, we could cover all 4 games. It would be cool to see the 8-man knockout. It's going to be really good. But yeah, and again, just to kind of like recap for you guys, so as you guys can see, maybe one of the worst formatted like images ever, but like still kind of works. I was like, who's playing who? What the fuck? But there you go. You can see the matches there. There's a best sports trophy, and also there's a 2nd and 3rd place going on there as well.
Best sports. Called it. I'm also going to win the most average painted army, and yeah, I'm in for it.
It's not the most average paint. Maybe I don't know what I'm going to call it. Wait, what was it? The participating trophy. It's a good trophy, man.
Yeah,
it's a great trophy.
If you
I want to normalize it. I want to normalize it. I want people to just be like, yeah, I kind of.
As soon as you win it, you're like, this is what they think.
I don't know. I think you'll go home and you'll be like,
it'd be really awkward if you gave it to someone who was trying to get best painted. Like they were actually trying to compete for that, and then you gave them that, and they were like, "Am I a joke to you?"
No, the participating award is only for people who definitely haven't had edge highlighted a thing. Edge highlights immediately disqualifies you.
What if someone is that bad? And then
I
you
mean,
give it to
there's
them
still
and
a
they're
minimum. There's still a minimum.
Am I a joke to you? Like, is this what I am?
Well, Twitch chat, thanks for joining us today. It's been lovely. Join us for 9 hours of coverage tomorrow. It's going to be a delight. The Goodest Trier is also a good one. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. You guys should join us tomorrow. We'll have a great day. You guys get some painting done. Get your armies on the tabletop. Stop keeping them on the bench. Get them on the tabletop. Or pay a commission painter who will get them done for you. Yeah, and then get it sorted. Let's go raid someone. Adam as the guest. Podcast Bros, love you forever. Thanks to everyone on Patreon. I couldn't live without you, so thank you. And, of course, YouTube guys, leave some comments. Love that shit. Adam, who would you like us to raid today? Do you want to go Warhammer or Weird Just Chatting? Your choice.
Oh, that's a good choice. Is there any, like, karaoke?
Oh, man. Let me go find out. Karaoke. There is not any karaoke. I don't think. Sorry.
Is there, like, some random person who's sat with an acoustic guitar?
Well, I'll go to Just Chatting. I think there's like a music section. Talk shows and podcasts, or Just Chatting. We never go into talk shows and podcasts. Should we try that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's do this.
Something super fucking depressing.
Pardon me? No, nothing depressing. We're only here for the fun.
Is that not fun?
Not fun. Extreme. What about extreme improv?
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Are they like the people that take suggestions from the chat?
Yeah, I think so. And we could ask
them
for
shit!
Oh shit! We could ask
Ruin it!
Right, okay, let's ask for Tufts. Let's go. Listen, Twitch chat, you've all been wonderful. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Adam, thank you. Can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow. Love you all. Tufts comedy,
ruin their stream, boys. Let's go.
Let's go, boys. Let's ruin it all. Have a nice day. We'll see you soon.
soon.